Thank you.
Yes. So I moved the thing up a little because I thought it'd be easier to go behind it than in front of it. And I'll shorten things up. And I do hope that, eventually we're here to help people, right? That's what we're supposed to be doing. So, Ephesians chapter 5, if you turn there. And, of course, my microphone bag is camo. It's hard to say what was in that previously. Thank you for your prayers. I was sick the last 2 weeks. I'm grateful for them. I will tell you that coronavirus made me about as sick as I remember being in a while. I did not need John's pacifier. Well, my wife might say I needed it, but I didn't have to avail myself of it. Ephesians chapter 5. I'm going to start off by doing something very unusual, especially, I got to turn off my notifications. I don't know if those will show up or not. Start off by doing something unusual. I'm going to put a cuss word on the board. Well, don't tell the preacher. If it's on YouTube, there's no chance he's ever going to see it. So he's not all that techno savvy. So here's the cuss word, and you'll see what I mean in a minute.
2020.
Yeah, there it is. There's the cuss word. I'm sorry to let you down because I know you know a lot better ones than that. Let's. I'm sorry.
It's still 4. 4 numbers instead of letters is numbers.
Yeah, that's true. It's a four. What do they say? Call it 4-letter word. Yeah, 4-digit word. It will be a byword and a cuss word the rest of our lives. 2021 is not starting out so great, but when we're not as Clarence said today, and it was very good. God remembers His elect, right? He's never lost an election. We are His elect, and He has not lost us, and we're grateful for that. Let's do this first. What is common to be done? I hate doing all the normal stuff and the New Year's resolution stuff and all that, but I need you to help me like I often do. What are some common New Year's resolutions? We'll write them down, and we'll do a message about it. Yes? Lose weight. How many of you thought of that one right away?
I wrote both of mine already.
Lose weight, Mr. Mike.
Quit smoking.
Quit smoking.
You took mine.
Okay. Quit smoking. These are New Year's resolutions. Is that counter running? Did I remember to hit it? It is. Okay. Another one. Get in church?
Got back in church.
Oh, well, how about, maybe like attend church more faithfully?
There you go, other words.
Attend church more faithfully. Other resolutions, common, typical. Yeah. Exercise is good. Exercise. Lose weight, quit smoking, attend church. Not smoke less, quit smoking. I like that. Yes.
Just might as well tell you I broke one of mine already about watching your language.
Okay. So we're going to quit cussing.
Yeah. It's just mild, but I still broke it already.
Well, good news is the Lord gives you second chances. Anything else? Those are all good.
Seconds.
Yeah. Seconds and thirds and fourths and hundredths. You want to gain weight? Okay, well, that's unusual, certainly. But gain a little weight. I'm sorry, sir?
Lose weight.
Lose weight. We got that one. Thank you. Don't you do that, Joel. You certainly, you're in the gain weight category. Keep eating them donuts. All right. Anything else? Yes.
Read the Bible more.
Yeah, that's a good one. What is it? Read and pray?
Pastor got on that already this year.
Yeah, he sure did. And we need it. Read and pray.
Be faithful with God more.
Okay. We'll just put that under be more spiritual. Attend church.
Witness. Witness more.
Yeah, that's good. Be better witness. These are all good resolutions. I'm not against making New Year's resolutions at all. Okay, I'll move along. Ephesians chapter 5. Why don't you turn there if you got it? Did I say it already?
Yeah.
Okay, verse 14. Ephesians 5:14.
Remember last year, the first Sunday in January.
And we're going to
Got some New Year's rest resolutions.
read
Psalm 37.
Ephesians 5:14, talking about think of it in the light of these resolutions. Ephesians 5:14 says this, "Wherefore he saith, Awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light. See then that you walk circumspectly." Sam, you can look that up on the 1828 if you don't mind. "See that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise." And look at 16. What's it say there? Redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Would you consider 2020 evil days? Yeah, pretty rough, wasn't it? It has not. So what do we do? What do we do? The Bible tells us to redeem the time. Now, the Bible says that we have in our lives 70, right? What's that translate into? 70 years. And if by reason of strength we may eke out 80 years. Let's see what circumspectly means out of 1828 dictionary.
Cautiously, with watchfulness every way, with attention to guard against surprise or danger.
Okay, we're going to walk circumspectly, intention to guard against surprise or danger. 2020 have any surprises for you? A few? Well, nothing but surprises in 2020, right? So here's what I want to get across to you. And this is going to be the gist of the whole message this morning is this. Are these things good things? Yes. They're good things? Every one of them, right? Would you say they're good? That would be good if we would all do it. I mean, you can't lose weight and gain weight, but you understand what I'm saying. They're all good.
Resolutions are intended, I mean, we make them because they're things we know that would improve our life.
Right. So
They're good things.
what she said was that these resolutions are a good thing because we realize we have an area of our life that we want to improve. Nothing wrong with that, is there? Now, what's the start date on all these?
January 1st, right?
January 1st. That's the start date on a New Year's resolution. Now, you just read your Bible that we are to redeem the time. When do you make the New Year's resolutions?
New Year's Eve.
That's New Year's Eve, I guess. Probably some people do. But like on July 4th, do you realize you need to quit smoking?
No, you realize that in January, you just haven't done it.
Well, how about September 21st? Do you realize you need to lose weight?
That's my birthday.
There you go. I mean, let me ask you something. Here's what I'm trying to get at. If these things are important on January 1st, are they important on September 30th?
Maybe.
I mean,
Whether you've kept it or not. If September 30th you've lost all your weight, you're gold.
well, I guess the point I'm trying to make, and Sam brought this up when we were working the other day, if a woman or a man makes a resolution on Christmas while he's eating a cheesecake that he wants to lose weight in 2021, my question would be, why not start right now? I mean, if it's important, why not start right now?
That makes too much sense.
Well, that's too convicting. That's the problem. Yes, I mean, I'm not here to tickle your ears, folks. I want to help you. And if you haven't been convicted, you probably haven't been helped. And we need it. We all need it. And I'm telling you, if there's something worth doing next year, it's worth doing now. And if you've already blown your resolution, don't wait till January 1st, 2022. Start right now. Start right now. Redeem the time. Why? The days are evil. That's why we want to redeem the time. So we look at these resolutions and we agree that they're all important. My question to you is, why wait? And I'm going to tell you something. When I see someone who's eating a piece of cheesecake on Thanksgiving and saying, I'm going to make a New Year's resolution to lose weight next year, you know what I'm thinking? You ain't losing no weight. You ain't going to lose no weight. And if you make a resolution to read your Bible and pray, I mean, the physical part of this I care about. I care that you're in good health, of course. But the spiritual side of me and the part of me that's been ordained of God to lift you up spiritually says, if it's important to read your Bible more next year, it's important to read it now. It's important to pray more now. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Hard to argue with that logic, isn't it? And I know, I mean, you folks that have little children, do you want your child to start behaving next year?
No.
Or do you want him to start behaving now? You know, we, and I'm on live, so I got to make careful what I say, but we've had the opportunity recently to be with a family where it's a single parent home. And I realize that's hard. And when I say single parent, you know what I'm saying. There's no father, right? It's almost never the other way around. Now, let me ask you something. What's God's will for parenting and child rearing? It's a nuclear family, right? One biological mother, biological father, biological children, all living in the same home. That's the definition of the nuclear family. That's what God wants. Now, if you don't find yourself in that situation, it certainly isn't impossible to please the Lord, but you are up against it, as you already know. If you're here divorced, you are up against it. It's a tough, tough fight, and my heart goes out to you. And so we try to help people. That's what we're here to do. And as I said, we had some interaction with a family that is a single-parent house, and what we started doing, and without being asked, I guess, was to start helping correct the children. Not spanking them. I'm not spanking somebody else's kids, but correcting them. Saying things to the boy like, you know, your mom already asked you to blah, blah. So why are you still doing this? And you start doing, you know, you want them to listen the first time, right? I'll be honest with you. I don't like the counting thing. Just don't like it. The timeout thing is okay, I guess. Here's my philosophy on child discipline, if you don't mind my saying. Use the minimum amount of discipline necessary to get the desired result. You don't have to go right to the paddle right away. You don't need to do that. With some, with some you do. But the point is, you use the minimum to correct the behavior. And so I think kids ought to listen as soon as mom says, do it. And if you're going to count, what are you doing? Lorraine, what do you think about counting?
You're never going to be done counting. I've heard him in Walmart. 1, 2, I mean it, 3, 4, I'm only going to go to 5, 4, 4,
Mm-hmm.
4,
Yeah.
4 and a half, 4
Yeah.
4 and a half.
It works
Yeah,
with my
well,
grandkids. You only have to do the 3 and they move.
Yeah. It depends on if you go through with it or not. If you actually go through with it when you hit 5, you're taking them into the restroom and you're spanking them.
My child, on the other hand, he's more afraid of his dad than he is me, because I'm Eastern,
Yeah.
and he's my only biological son, so I pretty much let Russell get away with whatever he wants.
Well,
That's my own fault.
I learned better with the first 2. This one here.
Well, this it very much does help to have a man in the house, for sure, especially with boys. And so I know, we've been there. And the point of all that talk is, if it's worth doing down the road, it's worth doing today. That's what I want you to take away from all of this. I want to let you know, I've got a tendency to be pessimistic. Anybody else like that here? I've got a tendency to be pessimistic. When I catch myself being pessimistic, I try to change that behavior because I don't like it. I don't like being around people that are sad sack. I don't like being around people that are low, that bring me down. And you shouldn't be around people like that either. That's why we got Mike in this class. He brings us all up. Look at that. He's great. And he brings us up. You can't look at him without smiling because he's so funny looking. No, we appreciate that spirit. I do. There's people that are, I think, you need a big mix of people. I know there's people that just aren't all that outgoing. I get it. There's different types of folks. But we all help one another, don't we? And we lift one another up. And so I want to be an optimistic person. I'm going to tell you, 2020 was a great year for me. I know it was lousy for a lot of people. No, I'm not crazy. It was a good year for us. We thought we had some terrible medical news on a couple of members of the family, and it turned out all right, and I'm grateful for that. Very, very astoundingly grateful to God for that. I don't know, business never better than what it's been in 2020. Had the best year we've ever had by far, without even trying. It just kind of came to us. The Lord made it easy for us, and I mean, I had some small victories, and it seems like you just, I mean, you know, I like to garden, right? For years, my Achilles heel, I couldn't grow squash. I love squash. I love to eat it. Couldn't grow it. It was frustrating to me. I could grow lots of green, but I could never grow the fruits. And finally this year I hit on something. I grew squash, and that was nice. And actually had a good garden this year, and that was nice. And got started in some ministries, different things. Got to know you all. Got the class on plane. That's nice. I enjoy that. 2020 is a good year for me. And I don't know, politically and all that stuff, I guess, but it just depends on what's important to you. And the things that are important to me, we had a great year. The storming of the Capitol and all that, I hardly saw it. I just hardly saw it. I hardly paid any attention to it. I don't want to stick my head in the sand. That just isn't what's important to me, politics anymore. It used to be. I used to care about it a lot, but not anymore. I got a king, and I'll serve him, and I'll do what he wants me to do. And I don't have long to do it, so I redeem the time, right? These politicians, they're up and down and everywhere, and it depends on who's going to pay them and who's going to do this and who their constituents are and what they want, their agenda. Christ only has one agenda. Go out into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. That's his agenda. And we're the ones that's ordained to do that. I also, as you know, if you heard me preach a couple of Sundays ago, I talking about 2020 again. I mean, that lady there is hard to buy for. I mean, it's hard to buy for someone you've known for 40 years. And
Get to know what you got.
what's that, Mike?
You never told us. You said somebody.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. Right now, I'm going to tell you. Matter of fact, this cost me so much money now, she's building a whole room around what I bought her. So now she's buying all this stuff to put in there. So anyways, and you know how I bragged it up that day, and it was just, all that great. And y'all just, and Reese even texted me and said, I got to know what that is. So I said, you swear to secrecy. So anyway, here's what it was. I bought the perfect gift finally. You've given your testimony here before, so you guys know her testimony. You know that her childhood was less than ideal, right? And that's why I got so emotional saying this. You're going to think it's weird unless you know her testimony. If I just tell you what it is, you say, what's the big deal? But you know her testimony, you've heard it, and if you hadn't, she just had a very, very bad childhood, just lousy. The beatings and being treated poorly, and the whole thing. And many of you have a similar testimony. Some of you ladies, I know you do. And one of the things that happened to her that I heard over the years is that her older sister, who was favored and didn't get corrected and didn't get beat, she got one year a particular game that was popular in the early 1970s. What are you thinking it is, Mike?
I'm thinking it's not Twister.
Not Twister. You're getting close there. You're getting there. Mystery date. Mystery date. Her sister got a mystery date game. And she, of course, I don't know how old you were, wanted to play that game. And in the way that she was raised up, she was not allowed to play it. She was not allowed to look at it. She was not allowed to touch it. She got a beating once for sneaking up to her sister's room and looking at it. This is the kind of home she was raised in. And so I went on eBay. I'm such a girl, I'll tell you.
It's okay.
I went on eBay and found an original, not a remake. Original 1972, all the pieces still in the little cutout things. Original. This thing's, 50 years old. And I found one online. And so I bid on it, and of course other people, there might be 2 or 3 other people in the country that want it, and that's all it takes, because there's just one of these things on all of eBay. And it's bidding, and it's going up, and it's going up, and it's going up. I finally just put a ridiculously high, because if I had to pay $500 for that game, I was going to pay it. And I paid a lot of money for it. But we got that thing. And you should have heard her squeal when she got that thing. It's just great. Yeah. No, I don't.
I'm gonna cry
I'm not even a part of this.
Yeah.
You need to issue button.
So it was, no, I'm okay. I'm okay. But you see now why that meant so much. It's a mystery date game. It's the original 72 with the girls on dressed that way and all that stuff. And I said, I want you to play it. Get our grand girls Christmas time and play it. And they did. And they played through the whole game. She wouldn't let them knock out the cutouts. They had to use the little discs. But they played, and I think, who won? My daughter? I think my daughter won. She got a date with a ski guy or something. I can't remember. Somebody got the nerd. I can't remember who he was. But anyways, the whole point of it, I guess, finally got the perfect gift in 2020. And now she's got this thing like in a shrine. And it's sticking over in the corner of her little, she calls it her nest, where she goes in to get away from me most of the day. And she sits it over there, and she's got this shrine built around and all this stuff. And the mystery date game's just right there. And I got her a Valentine's card a couple years ago. It was 100 years old. And it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of neat to bless people, isn't it? Bless people you love. And the whole thing was just a tremendous help to me. And so, I mean, 2020 is a good year for me. And I don't want to start loving her next year. I don't want to start blessing her next year. I want to start today, right? And so that's what I want you to do too. And so I'm optimistic for 2021. Was there anything bad that happened in 2020? Lots of things. There were lots of things that were bad. A lot of people died. Politics didn't necessarily go the way we wanted them to, perhaps. Well, what I hate about 2020 more than anything is what it's done to churches. I despise what's happening. I talk to pastors all over. Some of them are still optimistic, but most are not. All of them have lost people. This church has lost people. We're about half the attendance we were before it all started, close to half. We've lost kids on the buses, and I hate that. I hate it. And we've lost some weak people that looking for an excuse to get out anyway, and they did. And that makes room for strong people and people that need help. So we're okay with that. But that's not good. That part of 2020 upsets me a little. But listen, why don't we just start praying? Why don't we just start praying about that? Let's start reading our Bible more. Let's start seeking the Lord's will more to help with that situation. I don't know if we could redeem the time as much as we could have, but we need to redeem the time every single day. It's very, very important to do those things. That's why I don't have any trouble talking. You know that. But I've got you guys for about a half an hour a week. Half an hour, and there's 168 hours in a week. I mean, I'm doing time studies all the time in my business. The most important thing that we need in our business is time. We need more time. If I could just snap somebody out of thin air to create a worker, time is what we need. And not outside, not just in work, just to keep up, but we need time outside of work. We need time to have fun. Time. It's the most valuable asset you have, because guess what? You're losing your supply of it every single minute. You're not going to get more. You're going to get less. And so I want you to redeem the time. Yes, I love the fact that I get to have you for half an hour every week, but it's not much time. Have the kids next door, we'll have them for close to an hour and a half. That can seem like a long time sometimes, but it's not much time compared to all the junk, 168 hours worth, living in homes perhaps like she grew up in, or going to schools, that I know are not very good. And so it's hard to go against all, but yet you see some people once in a while that just seem to make it. They just somehow, this little bit of time at church changes them, and it helps them. So I want you to prioritize. All these things are good, but prioritize church in 2021. You're here. I'm preaching to the choir, but prioritize church. Encourage someone by coming to church. I can tell you, having pastored for years and years, that it is encouraging to walk out into the auditorium and see you in your place. It just is very encouraging to Pastor Fowler. You think, well, he's tough and he can handle it. Yeah, but he's also human. And he loves to see you in your spot. And so, and you also bring other people. So now I'm going to give you a chance to talk. You gave me a list of resolutions, things that you could stand to improve on, I could stand to improve on. Typical resolutions, most of them. The point of the whole message was to, why wait to do good things? Let's look at Proverbs 18:9, and then I'll ask you to do something. Proverbs 18:9. And I don't even remember writing this down, so I'm not even sure what I'm going to read. Oh, here we go. I understand now. You have it? Proverbs right in the middle of your Bible. We're all waiting on you, sir. You got her? Okay. Got it. Proverbs 18:9. I love to hear the Bible pages turning. That's great. Here's what it says. He also that is slothful in his work is brother to him that is a great waster. So God doesn't care much, I can tell you, with a little bit of Bible knowledge, I can tell you God doesn't care much for wasters, people that waste things, and he does not care for those that are slothful in labor and slothful with time. So let's compile a list now of things that will, let me just say, let's compile a list of things in 2021. We're going to determine what's the three things we all have: time, talent, treasure. We all have it. Not equal amount. We all have equal amounts of time. Three things we all possess as human beings: time, talent, treasure. Let's not waste any of those things. Certainly not time. So let's compile a list of things in 2021 that